Hi, my name is Amanda Damon, and I'm a Homeworks by Precept consultant in Augusta, Maine. Today's Look Inside the Book is taking a look at Physics 4th edition. Physics is a great course that's going to provide your student with the tools needed in order to solve problems in the real world involving things such as motion, energy, and forces. Your textbook kit will include Teacher's Editions Part 1 and 2, your student textbook, lab manual, a teacher lab manual, as well as your assessments and the answer keys. Now let's start taking a look inside our books. We're going to start with our Teacher's Edition. In your Teacher's Edition, you will have a table of contents listing the name of each chapter, as well as the sections within that chapter. You will notice some things will be colored in gray. This means that it is in Part 2 of your Teacher's Edition. Here we talk about biblical worldview shaping and how physics is only possible because God spoke the world into existence, and how we can find God in all different parts of physics. Here we have some notes for you as the teacher on different technology solutions. Where it lists teacher tools online and available resources, you can find these things on the Homeschool Hub as a homeschool parent. Next, we have features of your student's textbook, such as the chapter opener, boldface terms, chapter summary, and review questions. If you have gone through a previous edition of physics and are now using this one, you'll find notes on the different things that have been updated in the 4th edition. At the beginning of each unit, you will have a short blurb with information regarding that unit. It may have an example to describe what you'll be learning about, or talk about the quote found at the bottom of the page. This can help your student make connections to the real world. Prior to each new chapter, you will have a lesson plan overview listing the pages, the objectives, printed resources and materials needed, digital resources, and assessments. Remember, if it says Teacher Tools Online, you can find that on the Homeschool Hub. We also have any labs listed as well. At the beginning of each chapter, you will have the chapter objectives and the chapter overview listed. Here in Chapter 5, we're going to be looking at Newton's laws. The different sections that we have will cover forces and Newton's law of motion. The objectives for this chapter are to analyze forces at work on a system, apply Newton's laws of motion, evaluate forces in various real-world applications, which is a lab, design an experiment to model Newton's second law, which is another lab, and our last lab is to design, build, and test a bridge within given constraints. Each lab will be listed in parentheses. We have our chapter overview, and then we have our section overview with the objectives for that section. As you teach your lessons, you will go in a cycle of engage, instruct, apply, and assess. You will see each of these listed on your headings as you go through teaching your lesson. In your Teacher's Edition, you will also have a view of your students' textbook pages. At the end of each section, your student will have review questions in their text. The answers to these review questions can be found in your teacher manual. You will also have chapter review questions, and again, the answers can be found in your Teacher's Edition. Throughout the student text, there will be mini labs. All of the equipment and questions and procedures for this lab will be found in the student text, not in their lab manual. Any answers to those questions you will find in your Teacher's Edition. In the appendix, we have different scientific terms and their meanings, math references, metric prefixes with the prefix, example, and application, planetary and astronomical data, and moments of inertia for selected objects. When grading some of the assignments, you will need rubrics. You can also find these in your appendix. In Appendix K, you will find the mini lab materials list. These will be listed alphabetically by item, the chapter that you will need them, the size if applicable, number required, and any remarks. Here, in Chapter 4, we see that we need marshmallows. There is no number required, and in the remarks we see that the quantity will vary depending on the student's design. Keep in mind, these are for the mini labs. These are the labs that are found in your student's text and not the lab manual. The materials that you will need for the labs in the lab manual will be found in your teacher lab manual edition. You will also have a glossary of different terms. Here we have a student edition index. So if your student is looking for a specific definition for a term, you can look here and find what page number it will be on. We also have the teacher edition index listing the different topics covered and the page numbers. Here in part 2 of our teacher's edition, we have our table of contents, and note that anything in gray will be found in part 1 of your teacher's edition. As in your part 1 of your teacher's edition, you will have a lesson plan overview ahead of each chapter. In Chapter 16, you'll be studying electric fields. We have our chapter objectives, our chapter overview, as well as our section overview with the objectives listed. We have model an electric field using lines of force, calculate electric field strength on various charged particles, compare electric potential and potential difference, calculate electric potential difference at various positions in an electric field, and describe how electric forces and fields are used in N95 masks to protect doctors and nurses. Alongside the image of your student's text, you will have various notes to help guide you in the teaching of your lesson. In the back of part 2, you will have additional rubrics that you will need. We have a glossary of terms and our student and teacher index. Now let's take a look at the Teacher's Edition Lab Manual. When you first open your Teacher Lab Manual, you will have a table of contents listing all of the different activities. We have things such as parts of a whole, which is investigating vector components, around the curve, investigating circular motion, and absolutely relative, investigating the effects of relativity. Here we have some notes for you and your student on how to make your labs successful and how to stay safe while doing them. As you go through the lessons with your student, you will notice that you have teacher notes in the Teacher Lab Manual. These things can help you as you teach the lesson with things such as biblical worldview shaping, equipment, helpful tips, resources, safety. When you see the safety icon, make sure that you pay special attention, as that is there to help you be safe or to avoid a problem with the activity. I recommend reading this note to the teacher, which talks about planning ahead, equipment and materials, getting the most from a lab activity, measurements, and safety. These tips will help you to be able to teach the course effectively and efficiently. Let's take a look at our first lesson. You'll see that you will have the student's text also shown in your teacher manual. We also have the lab objectives, which is to organize collected data in a table, calculate mean and standard deviation, analyze data using a spreadsheet program, and display data on histograms. Here, you'll see that we have one of our symbols with a check mark, meaning this is a helpful tip. And we also have equipment notes. Your Teacher's Edition Lab Manual is also your answer key. For any answers that your student will have, you will have it written in red in your edition. Here on the second page of our lesson, we continue to have the image of our student's text along with any answers written in red, as well as some helpful tips. Here we see our math symbol. The text below is going to help you guide your student through their math calculations. We also have the question mark symbol. This indicates that there's a concept that your student might find difficult. In the back of your teacher lab manual, you will find an appendix. Here in Appendix A, we have laboratory and first aid rules. These would be good to go over in the beginning of the year to make sure that when you do your labs, you will be safe. Here in Appendix B, we have different laboratory techniques listed. These will help you get the most out of your labs. To assist in the math your student will be doing in the course, there is a mathematical reference as well. Something else your student will be working on is writing formal lab reports. In Appendix G, we have some different tips on how to write those. In Appendix M, we have a list of equipment and materials that will be needed for your students' labs. It is listed alphabetically. We have the item, the size if applicable, the number that is needed, the lab that it corresponds with, and any remarks such as here, we need an axle, and it says that Connect sets will work well for that. And now it's time for the student text. In the student text, you will have a table of contents in the beginning listing each chapter and the different units within that chapter. We have periodic motion, rotational and circular motion, work and energy, static electricity, light and reflection, and fluid mechanics, for example. When your student starts the course, they will read about how everything is physics, and how through this course they will be able to answer questions such as, is there a right use of physics from an ethical standpoint? Or why should a Christian study science in general, and more specifically, physics? We also have a section going over different features of the textbook, such as the chapter opener, essential questions, key questions, vocabulary terms, connect concepts, bold-faced terms, italicized terms, case studies, chapter summary, and review questions. Each of these will tell you how they are used and where you can find them on your page. For example, throughout the book, case studies. They will provide opportunities to investigate specific areas in physics to apply what you have learned in the chapter. We also have review questions at the end of each section and chapter for your student to go over. At the beginning of each unit, the chapters will be listed along with the page that it starts on. In the beginning of each chapter, we will have the name of the chapter. For Chapter 1, we have Foundations of Physics. And then each section will be listed along with the title for that section. For Chapter 1, we have Solving Problems with Physics, Dimensions of Physics, Principles of Measurement, and Integrity in Data. For Section 1.1, we have the questions that we will be answering. Can the study of physics be justified from a biblical worldview perspective? And what are some of the challenges for doing physics? We also have the terms that will be discussed: physics, science. At the end of this section, we have our review questions. The answers to these review questions will be found in your teacher manual. Throughout the student text, you will find mini labs. All of the procedures, equipment needed, and questions for these labs will be found right in your student text, not in the student lab manual. At the end of each chapter, you will also have more review questions that go over each section. The answer to these questions can be found in your teacher edition. In Unit 5, we're studying geometric optics and light. The chapters in this unit are chapters 20 through 22. We have light and reflection, refraction, and wave optics. In the back of your student text, under Appendix A, we have understanding scientific terms, along with the definitions for each. Appendix B they can refer to when they need any help with any math equations that they will be doing. There is also a glossary with definitions of the different terms that they will be learning. There is also a periodic table of elements. Let's take a peek at the Student's Lab Manual. When you open your Student Lab Manual, you will have a table of contents listing each chapter and then the sections within that chapter. We have magnetism, thermal energy and heat, refraction, relativity, quantum physics, and nuclear physics, for example. We also have a list of the appendixes in the back. You'll notice that pages are also perforated to make for easy removal during labs. In Lab 5B, we have Don't Be So Pushy, inquiring into Newton's second law. We have a short paragraph describing what the activity for the day is going to be. We have our procedure, and we have the questions that we're going to be answering. Our procedure continues on the back with the instructions for your student. Any answers you will find in your teacher lab manual written in red. This also includes any diagrams that they will draw. Any lab equipment needed will be listed. Here in Lab 12A, we're looking at the capacity to understand and understanding heat capacity and specific heat capacity. The questions we have for this lab are, what is the difference between heat capacity and specific heat capacity? And how are heat capacity and specific heat capacity related to each other? We have the equipment listed for this lab with things such as a hot plate, a beaker, crucible tongs, goggles, hot mitts, and more. In the appendix section of your student's lab manual, we have laboratory and first aid rules, tips on laboratory techniques, mathematical references to help with the math problems that they will encounter, as well as help on how to write formal lab reports. And in the very back, we have the periodic table of elements. And last but not least, we have the assessments for your student. The assessment packet is going to contain all of the quizzes on each section and the chapter tests. Well, that is Physics 4th edition. Thanks for joining me. Happy learning.